What up, guys? This is ECO YGO, and we're going back at it again with my first place top in Paleo Frog list. This is a variation of the traditional Paleo route, specifically catered to my local meta, so we're going to go into it. So, starting off, we are playing the standard frog package, being 2 swap frog, 3 swap frog, 3 dupe frog, and 2 red-headed. Or as I call them, we play 3 Naruto, 3 Shikamaru, and 2 Jiraiya. The reason why we do it like this is because swap frog sends them all to the graveyard. He's the MVP. He's the starter for the deck. Dupe frog is the one you want to tribute off, that way you can add the others to your hand. And red-headed is the one you want in your graveyard, that way you can incur more advantage. And that is the very end of our monster lineup right there. Those 8. We are playing 1 spell card in this deck, being Card Demise. Traditionally, your Paleo Frog list is going to play Scapegoat. But I decided to go with Card Demise instead of Scapegoat. Kind of for more of a turbo out version, more control version of the deck. My local meta has a lot of Tri-Brigade, a lot of Eldritch, and my thing was, if I wanted to win, I wanted to control the game more than they could control. And instead of using Scapegoat and giving them more interactions to chain onto, I decided to go Card Demise. That way I could draw more traps than they could and just go against them. So you'll see in the trap choices that a lot of them are tailor-made for the Eldritch match. So going in, we're playing a Solemn Brigade of 3 Judgment, 3 Strike. Pretty standard in Paleo list right now. You play the 3 Judgment to stop anything, the normal summons. You play Strike to stop effects that's going to activate, that is going to hose you down. Strike was an MVP for this because I played Dinos twice in the event last night. In which case, that Strike was able to stop the Oviraptors when I needed it, and another card in my deck, Lost Wind. Between those two, Dinos really never went off, and Dinos is a matchup that I kind of fear on this deck, just being able to OTK out of nowhere, but I had no problem with it. Going in now, triple copies of Trap Trick. This is probably the best card to ever come out for Paleo. You just banish a trap to set the same trap. You can use it to just get any of your Paleo names out into the field in order to initiate your rank 2 plays. Still on 3-0s, we're playing 3 copies of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. This is the only Paleo that I personally play at 3. He's a discard 1, banish 1. And the reason why I decided to go with the triple Dynamiscus over 3 copies of something like Indina, which is the Book of Moon for the deck, is simply because of the Eldritch match. If this particular player showed up and was playing Eldritch Zombie with Balrog and shit, I wanted to make sure that I could banish it, his Golden Lord, or banish his Balrog, in order to make my matchup even easier. So I made sure I played 3 copies of the Dynamiscus. Triple copies of Lost Wind. Lost Wind was the MVP of the day. For the main deck, being able to get multiple effect negations, permanent attack half on things, was enough to keep me in the games long enough for me to draw outs, and just enough to hose down certain effects. Now we're going on to the most controversial, I think obviously standard card for Paleos, Triple Reckless Greed. A lot of Paleo lists I've been seeing online right now are straying away from the Reckless Greed, going for more Scapegoat combo versions. But personally, if you set Reckless Greed, then you Trap Trick to the next, chain both of them onto each other, draw 4. It's just too good. So it's the same theory that I have with the Card Demise. I want to be able to draw my cards as quickly as possible in order to pop off as quickly as possible. And now I am main decking triple copies of Heavy Storm Duster. This is for the Eldritch matchup, and for my VW matchup, and my Praying Kids matchup. All 3 of the decks I mentioned are either back row heavily reliant, like Eldritch, or they have a field spell or continuous spell cards that will hurt my deck. So we'll go into this after the tournament segment to where we'll talk about my matchups, and I'll have on the screen displayed some keynotes about these decks. But Heavy Storm Duster came in clutch. While I did not have the Eldritch matchup, which I was anticipated for, which hurt a lot of my main deck choices, the same choices helped me in preparation for the Prank Kids matchup that I had. Going on now to our Paleos, we're playing 2 Linquela. Linquela just puts a banished card back to the graveyard. So we use Linquela to pit frogs that we banished for Ronin Totem back to the graveyard. 2 Candina, which is the Book of Moon for the deck. Honestly, like, you could play this at 3 and in exchange for any other card that you're thinking of. Then I'm playing 2 copies of Olenotes. Olenotes is sweet because he's spell and trap destruction. And if you've noticed in my version of the deck, I'm choosing not to play Morella, which is the Foolish Burial for the archetype. But in my opinion, Morella is just kind of slow. Yeah, it's cool. It's, again, slow in terms of traps. But Morella, its activation effect really doesn't apply any advantage. Which you can say the same thing about Linquela, but the ability to get extra uses off of my Ronin Totem is just too good in my opinion. Now, I played 2 Storm and Mirror Force and 2 Torrential Tributes. So these are in here for kind of like the same reasons because of Trap Trick. So because I played 3 copies of Trap Trick, I essentially play 5 versions of these 2 and additional copies of all my normal traps. So the only times I would pretty much ever get these is when I would Trap Trick them. So when I was playing against my Dino matchup, something I would do is chain onto the battle phase, Trap Trick to get Storm and Mirror Force, and that would scare them into not, attacking with like Ultimate Conductor and things, giving me a turn to recoup my resources, activate different traps, and just hose them from that point on, or set more back row. Torrential Tribute really helped me out in my Adamantipator matchup I had. Being able to drop the TT on the summon of like Researcher after they've already set up their board and have already baited out a Dragite Negate is just pretty dope. Wipe their entire board and allows me to recover. So that's it for the main deck. We want to hit over the extra deck now. So we're going to start out with the MVP of the entire event, the best card in the extra deck. That one being games that I probably should not have won. Paleozoic Anomalocaris. This thing was amazing today. I only played 1 copy of it, and I really don't think I need more. The fact that it's 2400 that is immune to monster effects and has a quick effect pop is amazing. Now, what really gave me advantage in a lot of games was the fact that every time I activated a trap card, I excavated and I was able to continue my resource pluses. And this thing being 24 is no joke. Next, you play 1 copy of Opabanya. I didn't go into this during the event, but in testing, it's really good. You always want to play at least one of the Paleo XYZs, and we'll play one of the Paleo Link when it comes out. But Opabanya is cool because it allows you to activate a Paleo trap from your hand as a quick effect. So any of your Paleos could very well turn into quick effects. Allows you to have a Dynamiscus live on your opponent's turn. And it's pretty solid. We're playing rank 2, so we're obviously playing Sky Cavalry Centaria. This came in clutch for my Dino matchup. Being able to hit into things and just bounce them back. He was playing a Dino Synchro combo. So being able to hit into like the Synchros, bounce them back, and just go off from there is pretty cool. Now, I played 2 copies of Cat Shark, which a lot of Paleo lists now are starting to cut Cat Shark, and they have cut Cat Shark for probably the last year or so. But now that we're in a slower format, a more battle-based format, that things like Olich and things are having to, actually do battles, the whole stick and poke strategy. Cat Shark, in my mind, is becoming better and better simply because you can't destroy it. You can just set in defense, can't be destroyed. Then, you can prop off a Toad on the next turn, detach 1, make Toad 44, and do combat tricks like that. So we're playing 2 of the Cat Shark for the utility in that. And now it's Paleo, so we're playing 3 copies of Totally Awesome. Thank God this is back at 3. And there's no need to say anything else about Totally Awesome. It is totally awesome. He is the dude. He is the goo, my man, the goo. Going off now to our links. We're playing 1 copy of my Starboy. It's the water link monster. Really not much to say. Playing 1 copy of Marincus Coral and Anemone. Coral and Anemone can bring back any of the frogs from our graveyard and just allow us to extend plus ultra into whatever we want at the moment. And then we're playing just a small Nightmare package being Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, and Nightmare Griffin. These are in here for Scapegoat, which is in my side deck. In case I realized I needed to go back to the traditional paleo route. But I really didn't ever need to go into the traditional paleo route with how my version is. Just the whole like trap counter and prediction went over well. I will say that traditional paleo frog is the route that most players should play. The only reason why this version worked out for me the way it did is because I've been playing this game longer than some new players have been alive. And I just know my locals well. So here in a little bit on the screen, you're going to go see meta predictions, and you're going to see the match results of what I have done. And the games I played along the record. I came out on top after 4 rounds of Swiss in the final cut. And that's going to be the end of the deck profile. This is ECO YGO signing off. See ya.